So Cassie, Jeffrey, what episode is this?
150! Hey!
It's the sesquicentennisode, right?
What was that?
The sesquicentennisode.
Oh God.
No, it's sesquicentennial.
No, I understand what it is and how you came up with the word, but I'm not going to dignify the word's existence by saying it.
It's a portamento.
Yes.
So for the 150th episode of Vlog Driver, we're going to do, what else? A book review! Today on Vlog Driver's 150th episode, I'm going to review George Orwell's Animal Farm. So as those of you who are subscribed to Banking 8408 know, I am currently reading a list of my favorite books and reviewing each one of them. And at the moment, I am in the middle of several dystopian novels. The book I just finished from that list is George Orwell's 1984, and I also, along with that, read George Orwell's Animal Farm because that's also kind of a dystopian novel that goes along with the theme. And what I discovered is that there are a lot of similarities between Animal Farm and 1984. The message is pretty much the same. The main difference, other than, you know, one being about animals and one being about people, is that in 1984, the dystopian society is pretty well established by the beginning of the novel. With Animal Farm, we actually get to see the process of how this society develops. The premise of the story is all of these animals on this particular farm are growing dissatisfied with their lot in life. And one day, almost really by accident, they overthrow the humans who are running the farm. They chase all of them off and they take over the farm and they start to work the farm for themselves and start a whole society just for animals. With the ideals of those society being anything that walks on 4 legs or has wings is good, anything that walks on 2 legs is bad. They're going to abhor everything that has to do with humanity, everything that humans use they cannot use, and plus all animals are equal. Now you might have noticed that I said overthrow earlier when I was talking about the animals taking over the farm, and that's fairly accurate because, as most people even who haven't read the book know, this is a fairly blatant allegory for Soviet communism.
I knew that.
In this book, the pigs emerge as the most intelligent animals on the farm, and so they are the natural leaders. And no one disputes that because most of the animals are fairly unintelligent. They can't really even learn the alphabet past the first couple of letters, and so they just let the pigs be in charge. They figure the pigs are smart, they know what's best. And what eventually happens is that gradually, throughout the novel, the pigs begin to become attached to many of the things that the humans were attached to. By the end of the novel, they're walking on their hind legs. They're walking on 2 legs, just like humans. Anyone who reads George Orwell's 1984 and George Orwell's Animal Farm might come to be under the impression that George Orwell was anti-communism or anti-socialism. This was not the case. He was not against socialism as an idea. What he was against was the way that the Soviets were implementing it. Because he saw what the Soviets were doing even as early as the 1930s, and he saw all the contradictions inherent in their way of governing. So it's a fairly haunting depiction, and even though it's a depiction of Russian communism, and even though that's really no longer a threat, it still is relevant. Because you see this cycle that can sometimes happen where ideals are overthrown and then those ideals are eventually taken up by the people that overthrew them. So it's fascinating reading and I do recommend it. It's really very short. You can probably read it in just one sitting. And by the way, I will be reviewing 1984 on Banking 8408 fairly soon. And that does it for the 150th episode of Vlog Driver.
Woo!
And I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.